Hey guys, Matt here from DCLblogger.com. Um, all right, this is episode number 3, and in this really cool video, I wanted to go through the concept of early investors, so early NFT or early item investors of projects. I know we are in a kind of new space right now, investing in NFTs, but in-game purchases of in games and different projects is not a new concept. Obviously, you can buy Fortnite skins. I don't know if you guys used to play this game back in the day, but I was pretty obsessed with it for a while. It's called Runescape, and basically you could be this dude in a multiplayer universe where there's like thousands and thousands of people, and you can go be a fisherman. You can cook fish. You can increase your cooking skill, and you can cook cooler and cooler fish. Eventually, you can cook lobsters and things, and you can sell them to people that go for fights and go to the wilderness and kill people, or go do like monster battles and things. You could be a smither. You can go mine some ore. You could do all kinds of things, right? So it's like this multiplayer online game universe where you could basically be whatever you wanted. Now, within that, there were all these items that you could purchase and use, and there was like a bunch of different things that you could do with these items. And one of those items I remember was this party hat, right? So this party hat was it was obtained by opening Christmas crackers in the 2001 Christmas event. So uh, I think it was a random party hat. I can't remember. I just remember them being able to purchase. I never was part of them actually being created, which was in 2001, so like 20 years ago. But I do remember buying these, and I remember people wearing them and selling them for insane amounts of money. By money, I'm talking about Runescape Gold, right? So this isn't real money. So I did a bit of a history check to see what they were worth back in the day and what they're worth now, and it just blew my mind what they're worth at the moment. So RuneScape, they released a bunch of different party hats. This is a blue party hat. You could get white. I think you could get pink and yellow and green and all these different types of party hats, right? So you can get blue, white, and all these different colors. They were discontinued in 2001. So I think you could only get them in that Christmas event. And ever since then, like people didn't really know the value of these. They were given as free, right? So the concept of this video is really to highlight free promotional items that are given at the start of projects and whether they're going to hold value or not, and some examples of some free items that were given for some projects like God's Unchained promo cards and NFT wearables that are actually starting to pick up in value. And I'm going to just use the RuneScape kind of 20 years of data that we have to see if it's a viable thing to kind of collect these at the moment, as we're at early stages of NFT projects. So yeah, these were given at this event. Let's look at the prices, okay? So I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I do remember a discrete figure of 500,000 RuneScape Gold. People buying and selling them for like 500,000 gold, maybe a million RuneScape Gold or something. But there is some interesting. Look, this guy's written. I remember 1.5 million for a white party hat in 2002. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going higher and higher in this years, and you're gonna be blown away by the price right now. So 1.5 million RuneScape Gold. Now check this out. I found this random forum thread, and this is in 2005. 2005, this was posted. So 3 years later, these were selling for around 25 to 70 million, depending on what type of party hat there was. Let's just say a conservative figure of 30 million. 30 million for your, let's just stick to blue party hats, all right? So let's say blue party hats went from 2 million to 60 million in 3 years, 2002 to 2005. So we're sitting at about 60 million for a blue party hat. Okay, now this is a bit too early. You maybe saw the amount right there, but blue party hats, right now you can see there's a thread right on RuneScape.com that keeps you updated on the prices of discontinued items. So let's kind of explore these hats, so the party hats, pink, yellow, green, red, white, and blue in these orders. These are in billions, guys. 17.5 billion. That's what that is. It's pretty crazy. You can see here someone's listed buying a blue party hat for 23 billion RuneScape Gold cash. And there's a really cool graph over here. There is a graph over here. So if we enlarge this graph, it's only got a price history of not that long ago. So it's got a price history of 2009 and onwards, right? So at 2009, we're sitting at a 350 million for party hats, and you can see they increased in value and they kind of stopped at 2.1 billion, only because after 2.1 billion, I don't think you can hold more than that in terms of cash in RuneScape. So they weren't able to track it beyond this point using this graph. But that's why we were using those forum threads to track the current prices. So it kind of capped out at the max price in RuneScape at this date. So in 2012, 10 years after, it went from being freaking free, basically, to 1.5 million, to 60 million, to now 2.1 billion. I don't even know. I think that's like 2000x the price, right? Well, it's free, so if you were to say conservatively, it was worth about 2 million. 2 million when it was first dropped. Now it's like a 2 billion. I'm pretty sure that's a 1000x increase. But it didn't stop there. It kept going, so we can't track it now. But like I showed you guys, this thread here, buying a blue party hat for 23 billion cash. That was on 2020 Jan. You can see here it's sitting at 17.5 billion at the moment. Okay, so it's increased another 10x since that 2012. The reason why it's gone up in value is obviously because it's scarce, and now if you have a party hat in RuneScape, pretty much an OG, it's kind of like a status symbol, right? People like to pimp out the characters in these online worlds because it represents them. They want to be rich, they want to be represented as rich, they want to flaunt their money. That's who they want to be, and a lot of people want to do that in online worlds, right? So again, this is all RuneScape Gold. 23 billion RuneScape Gold. Now, I wouldn't really give it much of a thought, but only because this RuneScape Gold is actually worth real Aussie or US dollars is why I care. Because let's look at how much gold is, right? So RuneScape 3 Gold, you can buy 100 million gold for 15 USD. So 100 million times 10 is 150 USD. Now times that by 17 times 150, that's about 2.5K. 2.5K USD for a blue party hat that was free 20 years ago. So if you knew it back then and you went around collecting these party hats and you knew scarcity and you knew that RuneScape was a growing project and you saw it being a status symbol and you mined it and you freaking bought every party hat you could possibly find and you had like, let's say 500 of these, dude, just sitting on $1 million plus if you did that. So it's interesting to me how wearables and items kind of hold their value. These party hats were dropped by or organized by RuneScape as a central organization. There's no real decentralization in RuneScape. And now, projects like Decentraland and all that are trying to create a decentralized thing where the scarcity can be tracked and monitored, and we can be 100% certain that there's only going to be X amount of these released into the public. So before we move on to Decentraland, let's kind of talk about Gods Unchained, because there were a few promo cards. Genesis cards were the ones that you could buy in the pack, and these packs kind of gave you a bunch of random cards, right? And if you click on these, I'm not sure if you can see the scarcity. Whoops. I don't think you can see how many of these are in circulation, but there's about 2,000 of these gold legendary cards in circulation each. So each card with this yellow or gold gem on the side, those are legendaries, and there's 2,000 of those in circulation as a meteor version. Okay, there's about 4,000 epics, which is the purple one. You can't really see them over here, but and about I think 10,000 of each of the blues. So there is scarcity, but there's just so many of them. They're not really worth that much. So that's why they're 0.0013, right? But the moment you go to promo, these were cards given from Gods Unchained to people that did certain actions. I think if you shared and connected your profile to Gods Unchained with your social profiles, you got a Blessed Chimera. Lights bidding you got if you participated in the first mythic auction. So if you just simply placed a bid, whether it would have been 1 Ethereum or 10 Ethereum or 100 Ethereum at that time, whether or not, making sure this is okay, whether or not you ended up winning the mythic auction, you would have got a lights bidding card. So I think there's a guy who bid like 8 times and he got 8 of these lights bidding cards. And these are worth, I know they're listed at 27 Ethereum at the moment, but I don't want to put that as their value because in the past, none have sold at 27 Ethereum. We've only had sales data between 10 and 17. So let's just say conservatively 10 Ethereum, okay? 10 Ethereum, so that guy got 80 Ethereum for just bidding, not winning, just bidding on that mythic auction. Blessed chimeras are worth about 2 to 3 Ethereum each, or maybe 2 Ethereum each at the moment, because I think there's going to be more supply introduced just because not everyone claimed their blessed chimera yet. First Phoenix, I think there's only about 200 of these if I'm not mistaken. So they're selling at about 6 Ethereum each. Again, I'm pretty sure these were free cards given, part of a promo. Decentraland are giving free wearables to people. I think you can buy some of these or these are free, but at the moment, I think people are starting to realize that these are going to start to hold value as well because, for example, this one sold for 6,800 mana just recently. So that's 4 out of 10. There's only 10 of these helmets, these cyber helmets out there, right? So it sold for 6,800 22 days ago. I personally have purchased these for about 7,000 mana myself. I bought this helmet, this suit, pants and suit, so about 20,000 mana for about 3 of these things. Because each one was a mythic item, only 10 of those are released at the moment. So if Decentraland blows up, if Gods Unchained blows up, or any of these NFT projects that you believe in becomes big, I personally think it is worth it to participate in any free giveaways or anything that you can get for cheap, right? So yeah, these are really expensive ones, and that's because there's only 10 of these items out there in the public, but you can get these ones like Creepy Pumpkin. There's only about 100 of these out there. 100 of these out there. It seems like a lot now, but if Decentraland even reaches 1/10 of what it wants to become, say there's about 100,000 users, suddenly your Creepy Pumpkin has value, right? Or whatever you've got that has 100 or 10 of those items out there in the public. Some of these have thousands. I think this one is also like 1 of 10. I'm trying to find one that has thousands for you. Right, let's see. Maybe these earrings. Yeah, there's about 1,000 of these earrings. Last sold for 100 mana. What's 100 mana, guys? 100 mana is like $3, $3. We say bucks in Australia. 3.5 USD. Oh, maybe 4 USD at the moment. I don't know. For me, it makes sense, right? It makes sense based on the Runescape data that we have. Anything that had scarcity, that in 10 to 15 years time has a lot of value. If Decentraland blows up, or Crypto Voxels, or any of these projects that are building these metaverses blow up, then things that held scarcity that were given as tests at the start, I think they will hold value. That's it. That's it, guys. I just wanted to highlight or put out there into the universe that, if you are really passionate about your project that you believe in, this is not to get people interested or FOMOing into Gods Unchained promo cards or Decentraland wearables. It's just to highlight that these projects are giving signs of becoming big, and if you can participate in things that give you these items for free, but there's a limited amount of them. For example, lights bidding. There's only like I think about 80. There's only about 80 of these lights bidding cards out there, approximately. So it's really scarce, right? I don't think it actually does much. Or people actually use them in decks, or it's popular, or you don't really need it. It's not like you're OP if you have them, right? These are just cards that are really rare. So because of that scarcity, it's kind of cool to own them. What the hell are party hats? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've worn things that are cooler than that. This doesn't really look that cool. It's only cool because people that have them, it's just worth so much money right now. Anyway, I used to play RuneScape like literally back when I was 16, so 15 years ago, maybe in 2005. I just remember them being worth something. So it's just crazy to me that these continue to increase or appreciate in value over the last 10 to 15 years. It gives us some data to work off, right? The more knowledge the more things you kind of know, the more you can act on. So that's it, guys. That's it for this video. See you guys in another video.